Good morning. I'm Patty Wong, President of the American Library Association. Welcome to the 2022 announcement of the American Library Association's Youth Media Awards. It's great to be here with you today to share with you what has become known as the premier event for the recognition of books and media for children and young adults. It's a pleasure to be with you here this morning. In fact, among the highlights of serving as ALA president is having the unique opportunity to participate in today's announcements, as well as being among the first to know which titles and artists are voted the best of the best in materials produced for youth. I would like to welcome members of the media, our publishing colleagues, and especially all of the young people, kids and teens, watching in your libraries, classrooms, and homes. We're thrilled you're able to join us. On behalf of the American Library Association and its executive board, I want to thank our Youth Media Award committees who worked so hard to select today's recipients. Your hard work will assist in our goal to foster the next generation of avid readers through individual opportunity and community progress. This year, we will announce 22 awards that recognize the best selections in books and media for children and young adults. Please note that due to the short production time between selection of award recipients and this morning's announcements, presentation slide information was cited from the copyright page of selected titles and from covers of selected media. In some cases, cited information may have changed since the material was published or produced. In such cases, publishers and producers will have an opportunity to update their information after our announcements. Also, due to time constraints, we will announce titles during today's event, and we will provide brief summaries of winning titles within award press materials and web pages posted to ala.org shortly after today's announcements. Now, I would like to introduce Aaron Laframboise, President of the American Indian Library Association, who will begin today's awards with the announcement of the American Indian Youth Literature Awards.
Thank you, Patty. The American Indian Youth Literature Award honored the very best writing and illustrations by and about American Indians and Alaska Natives. Books selected present American Indians in the fullness of their humanity in present and past contexts. The awards are announced in even years and are administered by the American Indian Library Association, ALA, an affiliate of the American Library Association. Our first American Indian Youth Literature Award category is for Best Picture Book. The committee has selected 5 honor titles, including
The Nebich Can't Ishle, Becoming Miss Navajo,
by Juliana Begay Krupa Dene, designed by Corey Begay Dene, and published by Selena Bookshelf, Inc. Thank you to Rhiannon Sorrell for the pronunciation in Dene Bazat. Classified, The Secret Career of Mary Gold Ross, Cherokee Aerospace Engineer, by Tracy Sorrell, Cherokee, illustrated by Natasha Donovan, Métis, and published by Millbrook Press. Learning My Rights with Mousewoman, written and illustrated by Morgan Asyuf, Tsitsimin, and published by Native Northwest. I Sang You Down from the Stars, by Tasha Spillett Sumner, Cree and Trinidadian, illustrated by Michaela Good, Tlingit and Haida, and published by Little Brown Books for Young Readers, a division of Hachette Book Group. And We Are Still Here, Native American Truths Everyone Should Know by Tracy Sorrell, Cherokee, illustrated by Frene Lessec and published by Charles Bridge Publishing, Inc., Live Oak Media. Our 22 picture book winner is Horizon by Daniel W. Vanderveer, Dene, illustrated by Corey Begay, Dene, and published by South of Sunrise Creative. Our next category is for Best Middle Grade Book. The awards committee has selected 5 middle grade book honor titles. They are Ella Cara Deloria, Dakota Language Protector by Diane Wilson, Dakota, illustrated by Tashia Hart, Red Lake Anishinaabe, and published by Minnesota Humanities Center. Indigenous Peoples Day by Katrina M. Phillips, Red Cliff Band of Lake Superior, Ojibwe, illustrated by Tashia Hart, Red Lake Anishinaabe, and published by Pebble, an imprint of Capstone. Jojo Macoons, The Used to Be Best Friend by Don Quigley, Turtle Mountain Band of Ojibwe, illustrated by Tara Audibert, Woolastoquay, and published by Heartdrum, an imprint of HarperCollins Publishers. Peggy Flanagan, Okima-Kwe, Lieutenant Governor, by Jessica Engelking, White Earth Band of Ojibwe, illustrated by Tashia Hart, Red Lake Anishinaabe, and published by Minnesota Humanities Center, and The Sea in Winter by Christine Day, Upper Skagit, cover art by Michaela Goad, Plinkett and Haida, and published by Heartdrum, an imprint of HarperCollins Publishers. The 2022 American Indian Youth Literature Award for Best Middle Grade Book is Healer of the Water Monster by Brian Young, Dene, and cover art by Shanto Begay, Dene, and published by Heartdrum, an imprint of HarperCollins Publishers. Our last category is the American Indian Youth Literature Award for Best Young Adult Book. The committee has selected 5 honor titles. Elatsoe by Darcy Little Badger, Lipan Apache Tribe, cover art and illustrations by Rovina Kai, and published by Levine Cuerdo. Firekeeper's Daughter by Angeline Booley, Sault Ste. Marie Tribe of Chippewa Indians, cover art by Moses Lenham, Ojibwe and Chippewa, and published by Henry Holt and Company, an imprint of Macmillan Children's Publishing Group. Hunting by Stars, written by Sherry Demeline, Métis Nation of Ontario, cover art by Stephen Gladue, Fishing Lake Métis Settlement, and published by Amulet Books, an imprint of Abrams. Notable Native People, 50 Indigenous Leaders, Dreamers, and Changemakers from Past and Present by Adrienne Keene, Cherokee Nation, illustrated by Sierra Sana Chamorro, and published by 10 Speed Press, an imprint of Penguin Random House, and Soldiers Unknown by Chag Lowry, Yurok, Maidu, and Achimwe, illustrated by Brasan Ekedal, and published by Great Oak Press. The 2022 American Indian Youth Literature Award for Young Adult Book is Apple Skin to Core by Eric Gainsworth, Onondaga, cover art by Philip Periak, published by Levine Cuerdo. I would like to thank American Indian Youth Literature Award Chair Vanessa Chacha Centeno, Choctaw Nation of Oklahoma, Co-Chair Ann Heidemann, and the rest of the committee for their hard work in making today's selections possible. Next is Ray Pun, President of the Asian Pacific American Librarians Association, who will continue with the announcement of the Asian Pacific American Award for Literature.
Thank you, Aaron. The Asian Pacific American Award for Literature promotes Asian Pacific American culture and heritage and is awarded based on literary and artistic merit. The award offers 3 youth categories and committees, including picture book, children's literature, and youth literature. The award is administered by the Asian Pacific American Librarians Association, APALA, an affiliate of the American Library Association. The Asian Pacific American Award for Best Picture Book Committee has selected one honor title, A Boy Named Isamu, a story of Isamu Noguchi, written by James Yang, published by Viking Books for Young Readers, an imprint of Penguin Young Readers, a division of Penguin Random House. This year's picture book winner is Watercress, written by Andrea Wong, illustrated by Jason Chin, and published by Neil Porter Books. I would like to thank Asian Pacific American Award for Literature Picture Book Chair Dora Ho and the committee for their hard work. The Asian Pacific American Award for Children's Literature Committee has selected one honor title, Finding Junie Kim, written by Ellen Oh and published by HarperCollins. The 2022 Asian Pacific American Award for Children's Literature is Amina's Song, written by Henna Khan and published by Salon Reads, Simon & Schuster Books for Young Readers, an imprint of Simon & Schuster's children's publishing. I would like to thank Asian Pacific American Award for Children's Literature co-chairs Florence Tang and Jamie Kuromaji and committees for today's selections. The Asian Pacific American Award for Youth Literature Committee selected one honor title, We Are Not Free, written by Tracy Chi, published by Houghton Mifflin Harcourt. The 2022 Asian Pacific American Award for Youth Literature is Last Night at the Telegraph Club, written by Melinda Lowe and published by Dotton Books for Young Readers, an imprint of Penguin Young Readers, a division of Penguin Random House. I would like to thank Asian Pacific American Award for Youth Literature Chair Crystal Chen and the committee for their hard work. I would now like to introduce Kathy Bloomfield, President of the Association of Jewish Libraries, who will announce the Sidney Taylor Awards.
The Sidney Taylor Book Award is presented annually to outstanding books for children and teens that authentically portray the Jewish experience. Presented by the Association of Jewish Libraries since 1968, the award encourages the publication and widespread use of quality Judaic literature. Gold medals are presented in 3 categories: picture book, middle grade, and young adult. The committee selected 3 picture book honor titles. Nikki and Vera, A Quiet Hero of the Holocaust and the Children He Rescued, written and illustrated by Peter Cease and published by Norton Young Readers, an imprint of W.W. Norton and Company. Dear Mr. Dickens by Nancy Chernin, illustrated by Bethany Stancliffe and published by Albert Whitman and Company. And The Christmas Mitzvah by Jeff Gottesfeld, illustrated by Michelle Laurentia Agatha and published by Creston Books. This year's Sidney Taylor Book Award for Picture Book is The Passover Guest by Susan Kussell, illustrated by Sean Rubin and published by Neil Porter Books, Holiday House. The committee selected 2 middle grade honor titles: The Genius Under the Table, Growing Up Behind the Iron Curtain, written and illustrated by Eugene Yelchin and published by Candlewick Press, and Linked by Gordon Corman and published by Scholastic Press, an imprint of Scholastic. The Sidney Taylor Book Award for middle grade is How to Find What You're Not Looking For by Vera Hiranandani and published by Kokila, an imprint of Penguin Random House. The committee selected 3 young adult honor titles. The Last Words We Said by Leah Shire and published by Simon & Schuster Books for Young Readers, an imprint of Simon & Schuster Children's Publishing Division. Whistle, A New Gotham City Hero by E. Lockhart, illustrated by Manuel Pritano and published by DC Comics. And The Summer of Lost Letters by Hannah Reynolds and published by Razorbill, an imprint of Penguin Random House. The Sidney Taylor Book Award for Young Adult is The City Beautiful by Aidan Polydorus and published by Inkyard Press. Our last award is the Sidney Taylor Body of Work Award. The Association of Jewish Libraries Sidney Taylor Book Award Committee chooses a Body of Work Award winner every 2 to 4 years and recognizes an author or entity who has made a substantial contribution over time to the genre of Jewish children's literature. The 2022 Sidney Taylor Body of Work Award winner is Jane Yolen, the author of several acclaimed books that have broadened the scope of Jewish children's literature, including her middle grade novel, The Devil's Arithmetic, which won both the National Jewish Book Award and the 1988 Sidney Taylor Book Award. I would like to thank Sidney Taylor Book Award Chair Martha Simpson and the award committee for their hard work. Now, over to ALA President Patty Wong, who will continue today's announcements.
Thank you, Kathy. The Schneider Family Book Awards, donated by Dr. Catherine Schneider, honor an author or illustrator for a book that embodies an artistic expression of the disability experience for child and adolescent audiences. The award, administered by the American Library Association, is given annually for the best younger children, middle grades, and teen books, which honor an author or illustrator for the artistic expression of the disability experience for child and adolescent audiences. The committee selected 2 best young children's honor books. A Walk in the Words, written and illustrated by Hudson Talbot and published by Nancy Paulson Books, an imprint of Penguin Young Readers, a division of Penguin Random House. And A Sky Blue Bench, written by Bairam Rahman, illustrated by Peggy Collins, and published by Pajama Press, Inc. The Best Young Children's Book recipient is My City Speaks, written by Darren LeBoeuf, illustrated by Ashley Barron, and published by Kids Can Press Limited. The committee has selected 2 best middle grades honor books. Stunt Boy in the Meantime, written by Jason Reynolds, illustrated by Raoul III, and published by Caitlin DeLuhy Books, Athenaeum Books for Young Readers, an imprint of Simon & Schuster Children's Publishing. And A Kind of Spark, written by Elle McNichol, and published by Crown Books for Young Readers, an imprint of Random House Children's Books, a division of Penguin Random House, LLC. The recipient of the Schneider Family Book Award for Best Middle Grades Book is A Bird Will Soar, written by Allison Green Myers and published by Dutton Books for Young Readers, an imprint of Penguin Young Readers, a division of Penguin Random House. This year's Best Teens Honor Book is A Face for Picasso, Coming of Age with Crouzon Syndrome, written by Ariel Henley and published by Farrar Stroh Shiro Books for Young Readers, an imprint of Macmillan Children's Publishing Group. Our winner for Best Teens Book is Words in My Hands, written and illustrated by Asphyxia and published by Anik Press Limited. I would like to thank award jury co-chairs Susan Hess and Mary Kate Sableski and the jury for their hard work. Thank you. Our next award is the Stonewall Book Awards, Mike Morgan and Larry Roman's Children's and Young Adult Literature Award. Sponsored by the Stonewall Book Awards Children's and Young Adult Committee of the Rainbow Roundtable, the award is given annually to English language books of exceptional merit to the gay, lesbian, bisexual, and transgender experience. The committee chose 3 honor books. They are Almost Flying, written by Jake Maya Arlo, and published by Dial Books for Young Readers, an imprint of Penguin Random House. The Darkness Outside Us, written by Elliot Schrafer, and published by Catherine Teagan Books, an imprint of HarperCollins Publishers. And Granddad's Camper, written and illustrated by Harry Woodgate and published by Little Bee Books. The winners of the 2022 Stonewall Book Awards, Mike Morgan and Larry Roman's Children's and Young Adult Literature Award are Too Bright to See, written by Kyle Lukoff and published by Dial Books for Young Readers, an imprint of Penguin Random House. And Last Night at the Telegraph Club, written by Melinda Lowe and published by Dutton Books for Young Readers, an imprint of Penguin Young Readers, a division of Penguin Random House. I would like to thank Awards Subcommittee Chair Danny Crickman and the subcommittee for today's selections. I would now like to introduce Dr. Brenda Pruitt-Anisette, who will announce the 2022 Coretta Scott King Book Awards.
Thank you, Patty. The Coretta Scott King Book Awards celebrate and honor Mrs. Coretta Scott King for continuing her husband's work to foster peace and unity among all people. The Coretta Scott King Book Awards Committee, a division of the American Library Association's Ethnic and Multicultural Information Exchange Roundtable, administers the awards annually. Our first award is the Coretta Scott King Virginia Hamilton Award for Lifetime Achievement. The award is presented in even years to an African American author, illustrator, or author-illustrator for a body of published works for children and or young adults, and who has made a significant and lasting literary contribution. The award is named in memory of award-winning children's author, Virginia Hamilton. Hamilton wrote more than 35 books throughout her career and received numerous awards, including the Coretta Scott King Book Award, the Newbery Medal, and a host of others. The recipient of the Coretta Scott King Virginia Hamilton Award for Lifetime Achievement is Nikki Grimes. I would like to thank Award Chair Carolyn L. Garnes and the Coretta Scott King Virginia Hamilton Award for Lifetime Achievement Committee, who made today's announcement possible. Next are the Coretta Scott King Book Awards, which honor African American authors and illustrators of outstanding books for children and young adults that promote the understanding and appreciation of all people. The committee selected 2 Coretta Scott King John Steptoe Awards for New Talent. Illustrators Regis and Karan Bittencourt for The Me I Choose to Be, and published by Little, Brown and Company. And Amber McBride for Me, Moth, published by Fewell and Friends, an imprint of Macmillan Publishing Group. The committee selected 3 illustrator honor books: Christian Robinson for Nina, a story of Nina Simone, written by Tracy N. Todd and published by G.P. Putnam's Sons Books for Young Readers, an imprint of Penguin Random House. Raisa Figueroa for We Wait for the Sun, written by Dovey Johnson Roundtree and Katie McCabe, and published by Roaring Book Press, an imprint of Macmillan Children's Publishing Group. And C.G. Esperanza for Soul Food Sunday, written by Winsome Bingham and published by Abram Books for Young Readers, an imprint of Abrams. The Coretta Scott King Illustrator Award goes to Floyd Cooper for Unspeakable, The Tulsa Race Massacre, written by Carol Boston Weatherford and published by Carol Rhoda Books, an imprint of Lerner Publishing Group, Inc. Our last award is Coretta Scott King Arthur Award. The Coretta Scott King Book Awards Committee chose 3 Arthur Honor books. They are Sophia El Hilo, For Home is Not a Country, published by Make Me a World, an imprint of Random House Children's Books, a division of Penguin Random House. Kikla Magoon, for Revolution in Our Time, published by Candlewick Press. And Ibu Zobwa, for The People Remember, illustrated by Love is Wise and published by Belzer and Bray, an imprint of Harper Collins Publishers. The winner of this year's Coretta Scott King Arthur Award is Carol Boston Weatherford for Unspeakable, The Tulsa Race Massacre, illustrated by Floyd Cooper and published by Carol Rhoda Books, an imprint of Lerner Publishing Group, Inc. I would like to thank Jason Miles Driver Sr. and the Coretta Scott King jury who made today's announcement possible. I would now like to introduce Young Adult Library Services Association President Kelly Zarnacki, who will introduce today's Young Adult Library Services Association award selections.
Thank you, Brenda. YALSA's mission is through networking, advocacy, and professional development. The Young Adult Library Services Association empowers all those involved in the profession to provide equitable, diverse, and inclusive teen services. Now, on with the announcement of this year's ALEX Awards. The ALEX Awards are given to 10 books written for adults that have special appeal to young adults, ages 12 through 18. Sponsored by the Margaret A. Edwards Trust and Booklist, and administered by the Young Adult Library Services Association, the awards were first given annually beginning in 1998 and became an official ALA award in 2002. The awards are named after Margaret Alexander Edwards, who is called Alex by her friends. Edwards was a pioneer in young adult librarianship, working with teens for many years at the Enoch Pratt Library in Baltimore. She served as an inspiration to many librarians who serve young adults. This year's 10 winning titles are Light from Uncommon Stars by Rika Aoki, published by Tor Books, an imprint of Tom Doherty Associates, a division of Macmillan Publishing Group. The 100 Years of Lenny and Margot by Marianne Cronin, published by Harper Perennial, an imprint of HarperCollins Publishers. The Witch's Heart by Genevieve Gornichek, ACE, published by Berkeley, an imprint of Penguin Random House. The Library of the Dead by T.L. Hutchu, published by Tor Books, an imprint of Tom Doherty Associates, a division of Macmillan Publishing Group. How Lucky by Will Leach, published by Harper, an imprint of HarperCollins Publishers. Winter's Orbit by Everina Maxwell, published by Tor Books, an imprint of Tom Doherty Associates, a division of Macmillan Publishing Group. The Rose Code by Kate Quinn, published by William Morrow, an imprint of HarperCollins Publishers. Crossing the Line, a fearless team of brothers and the sport that changed their lives forever, by Kareem Rosser, published by St. Martin's Press, an imprint of St. Martin's Publishing, a division of Macmillan Publishing Group. Lore Olympus, Volume 1 by Rachel Smythe, published by Del Rey, an imprint of Random House, a division of Penguin Random House. And Malice by Heather Walter, published by Del Rey, an imprint of Random House, a division of Penguin Random House. I would like to thank Alex Award Chair Michael Fleming and members of the committee. Thank you for making this award possible. For more information on the Alex Awards, including a list of vetted nominations, please visit ala.org/YALSA/Alex-Awards. The Margaret A. Edwards Award was established in 1988 and honors an author and specific titles by that author for significant and lasting contribution to young adult literature. The award recognizes an author's work in helping adolescents become aware of themselves and addressing questions about their role and importance in relationships, society, and in the world. It is sponsored by School Library Journal and administered annually by YALSA. The award is named for Margaret A. Edwards, a pioneer in youth services. Through her work at Enoch Pratt Free Library in Baltimore, Edwards demonstrated that only through literature would young adults move beyond themselves into a larger world. This year's winner of the Margaret A. Edwards Award for significant and lasting contribution to young adult literature is A.S. King for Ask the Passengers, published by Little, Brown and Company, a division of Hachette Book Group, Inc. Gloria O'Brien's History of the Future, published by Little, Brown and Company, a division of Hachette Book Group, Inc. And Please Ignore Vera Dietz, originally published by Alfred A. Knopf, an imprint of Random House Children's Books, New York. I would like to thank Margaret A. Edwards Award Committee Chair Craig Marasco and members of the committee for their efforts in selecting A.S. King as this year's winner. The William C. Morris Award honors a book written for young adults by a first-time, previously unpublished author. The award's namesake is William C. Morris, an influential innovator in the publishing world and an advocate for marketing books for children and young adults. William, called Bill by his friends and colleagues, left an impressive mark on the field of children's and young adult literature. He was beloved in the publishing field and the library profession for his generosity and marvelous enthusiasm for promoting literature for children and teens. The William C. Morris Award Committee selected 5 finalists in December. They are Ace of Spades, written by Farida Abike Ayidame and published by Fywell and Friends, an imprint of Macmillan Children's Publishing Group. Firekeeper's Daughter, written by Angeline Booley and published by Henry Holt and Company, an imprint of Macmillan Children's Publishing Group. Vampires, Hearts, and Other Dead Things, written by Margie Fuston and published by Margaret K. McElderry Books, an imprint of Simon & Schuster Children's Publishing Division. Me, Moth, written by Amber McBride and published by Fywell and Friends, an imprint of Macmillan Children's Publishing Group. And What Beauty There Is, written by Corey Anderson and published by Roaring Brook Press, an imprint of Macmillan Children's Publishing Group. The winner of the 2022 William C. Morris Award is Firekeeper's Daughter, written by Angeline Booley and published by Henry Holt and Company, an imprint of Macmillan Children's Publishing Group. YALSA will host a virtual reception honoring Morris Award finalists and the winners on Tuesday, February 8th. I would like to thank William C. Morris Award Committee Chair Patty Ramirez and committee members for their effort to select today's honorees. The YALSA Excellence in Nonfiction Award honors the best nonfiction book published for young adults ages 12 to 18 each year. The award committee selected 5 award finalists in December. They are Ambushed, the assassination plot against President Garfield, written by Gail Jarrow and published by Calkins Creek, an imprint of Astra Books for young readers. Blackbirds in the Sky, the story and legacy of the 1921 Tulsa Race Massacre, written by Brandy Colbert and published by Baltzer and Bray, an imprint of HarperCollins Publishers. From a whisper to a rallying cry, the killing of Vincent Chin and the trial that galvanized the Asian American movement. Written by Paula Yu and published by Norton Young Readers, an imprint of W.W. Norton and Company. In the shadow of the fallen towers, the seconds, minutes, hours, days, weeks, months, and years after the 9/11 attacks. Written and illustrated by Don Brown and published by Etch, an imprint of HarperCollins Publishers. The Woman All Spies Fear, Codebreaker Elizabeth Smith Friedman and Her Hidden Life, written by Amy Butler Greenfield and published by Random House Studio, an imprint of Random House Children's Books, a division of Penguin Random House. The winner of the 2022 award for excellence in nonfiction is Ambushed, the assassination plot against President Garfield, written by Gail Jarrow and published by Calkins Creek, an imprint of Astra Books for young readers. YALSA will host a virtual reception honoring YALSA Excellence in Nonfiction Award finalists and the winners on February 24th. I would like to thank YALSA Excellence in Nonfiction Chair, Alicia Abdul, and the committees for their efforts to select today's honorees. Our next award is the Michael L. Prince Award for Excellence in Young Adult Literature. The award, first given in 2000, is named for the late Michael L. Prince, a Topeka, Kansas school librarian who had a passion for books and reading and a commitment to finding the right book for the right student. The award is administered annually by YALSA and is sponsored by Booklist magazine. The committee chose 4 Prince honor books. They are Concrete Rose, written by Angie Thomas and published by Baltzer and Bray, an imprint of HarperCollins Publishers. Last Night at the Telegraph Club, written by Melinda Lowe and published by Dutton Books for young readers, an imprint of Penguin Young Readers, a division of Penguin Random House. Revolution in Our Time, The Black Panther Party's Promise to the People, written by Kekla Magoon and published by Candlewick Press. And Starfish, written by Lisa Phipps and published by Nancy Paulson Books, an imprint of Penguin Random House. And now I am pleased to announce that the winner of the Michael L. Prince Award for Excellence in Young Adult Literature is Firekeeper's Daughter, written by Angeline Booley and published by Henry Holt and Company, an imprint of Macmillan Children's Publishing Group. I would like to thank Michael L. Prince Award Committee Chair Janet Hilbun and committee members for their efforts to select today's honorees. I would now like to introduce Lucia Martinez Gonzalez, President of the Association for Library Service to Children, who will announce the remainder of today's awards.
The Association for Library Service to Children, also known as ASC, supports its members in engaging communities to build healthy, successful futures for all children. Our next award is the Pura Belpré Award, which honors Latinx writers and illustrators whose work best portrays, affirms, and celebrates the Latino cultural experience in outstanding works of literature for children and youth. I would now like to introduce Nicanor Diaz, President of Reforma, the National Association to promote library and information services to Latinos and the Spanish-speaking, who will announce the awards in both English and Spanish.
Thank you, Lucia. It's a pleasure to be here with you today. The Pura Belpré Awards is co-sponsored by ALSC, YALSA, and Reforma, an affiliate of the American Library Association. Reforma works to recruit bilingual and bicultural library professionals and support staff, and supports the development of library services and programs that meets the needs of the Latino community. Now on with today's announcements, which I will be presenting both in English and in Spanish. The committee chose 4 Pura Belpré honor books for youth illustration. El comité seleccionó 4 libros de honor Pura Belpré en la categoría de ilustración para jóvenes. Boogie Boogie Y'all, illustrated and written by C.G. Esperanza and published by Catherine Teagan Books, an imprint of HarperCollins publisher. Bright Star, illustrated and written by Shushi Morales and published by Neil Porter Books, Holiday House. De aquí como el coquí, illustrated and written by Normar Perez, translated by Farah Perez, and published by Dial Books for Young Readers, an imprint of Penguin Young Readers, a division of Penguin Random House. And May Your Life Be Deliciosa, illustrated by Loris Lora, written by Michael Genhart, and published by Cameron Kids, an imprint of Cameron and Company, a division of Abrams. And now, I'm pleased to announce the winner of the Pura Belpré Awards for Youth Illustration. Y ahora, me complace anunciar el ganador del premio Pura Belpré en la categoría de Ilustración para Jóvenes. Vamos! Let's Cross the Bridge! Illustrated and written by Raúl González and published by Versify, an imprint of HarperCollins Publishers. The committee has selected 3 Pura Belpré Children's Author Honor Books. El comité seleccionó 3 libros de honor Pura Belpré en la categoría de Autor para Niños. Barefoot Dreams of Petra Luna, written by Alda P. Dobbs and published by Source Books, Young Readers, an imprint of Source Books Kids. Child of the Flower Sung People, Luz Jimenez, daughter of the Nahua, written by Gloria Amezcua, illustrated by Duncan Donatiu, and published by Abram Books for Young Readers, an imprint of Abrams. And De aquí como el coquí, written and illustrated by Normar Perez, translated by Farah Perez, and published by Dial Books for Young Readers, an imprint of Penguin Young Readers, a division of Penguin Random House. This year's winner of the Pura Belpré Award for Children's Author is el ganador del premio Pura Belpré en la categoría de autor para niños es The Last Cuentista, written by Donna Barba Higuera and published by Levin Querido. The committee chose 3 Pura Belpré Young Adult Author Honor Books. El comité seleccionó 3 libros de honor Pura Belpré en la categoría de autor para jóvenes adultos. 1500 Miles from the Sun, written by Johnny Garza Villa and published by Skyscape. Somewhere Between Bitter and Sweet, written by Laken Zia Kemp and published by Little, Brown and Company, a division of Hachette Book Group. And Where I Belong, written by Marcia Argueta Mickelson and published by Carol Rhoda Lab, an imprint of Lerner Publishing Group. This year's Pura Belpré Young Adult Author winner is el ganador del premio Pura Belpré en la categoría de autor para jóvenes adultos es How Moon Fuentes Fell in Love with the Universe, written by Raquel Vasquez Gilliland and published by Simon & Schuster Books for Young Readers, an imprint of Simon & Schuster's Children's Publishing Division. I would like to thank the Pura Belpré Award Chair, Shelly Diaz, and the committees for today's selection. Thank you so much for all your hard work.
Gracias, Nicanor, por unirte a nosotros hoy y gracias, Reforma, por ser nuestros socios en este importante trabajo. The Ask Children's Literature Lecture Award. Each year, an individual of distinction in the field of children's literature is chosen to deliver a distinguished lecture on behalf of ASK. The lecturer prepares and presents an original paper that makes a significant contribution to children's literature. The 2022 Ask Children's Literature Lecture Award will be delivered by Brian Collier. I would like to thank Ask Children's Literature Lecture Award Chair Gloria Repolusk and the committee for making today's selection possible. Thank you for your hard work. Next is the Mildred L. Batchelder Award, which honors a U.S. publisher for the most outstanding children's book, originally published in a language other than English in a country other than the United States, and subsequently translated into English for publication in the United States. There are 5 Batchelder honor books. This year's honor books are Coffee, Rabbit, Snowdrop, Lost, published by Enchanted Lion Books, written by Bettina Burkyard, illustrated by Anna Margrethe Kiekyard, and translated by Sinead Quirk Kongerskopf. In the Meadow of Fantasies, published by Elsewhere Editions, written by Hadi Muhammadi, illustrated by Nushin Safahoud, and translated by Sarah Halili. The Most Beautiful Story, published by Enchanted Lion Books, written by Brynjolf Young Chen, illustrated by Ivan Thorshitha, and translated by Carrie Dixon. Sato the Rabbit, published by Enchanted Lion Books, written and illustrated by Yuki Ainoya, and translated by Michael Blaskowski. And The Sea-Ringed World, Sacred Stories of the Americas, published by Levin Querido, written by Maria Garcia Esperon, illustrated by Amanda Mijangos, and translated by David Bowes. This year's Mildred L. Batchelder Award goes to Temple Alley Summer, published by Yonder Restless Books for Young Readers, written by Sachiko Kashiwaba, illustrated by Miho Satake, and translated by Avery Fisher Udagawa. I would like to thank Mildred L. Batchelder Award Chair, Dr. Marie A. Leung, and members of the committee for making today's selection possible. Thank you for your hard work. I would now like to present the Robert F. Seibert Medal. The Seibert Medal honors the author and illustrator of the most distinguished informational book for children. Informational books are defined as those written and illustrated to present, organize, and interpret documentable factual materials for children. The committee chose 5 Seibert honor books. The Great Stink, How Joseph Bazalgette Solved London's Poop Pollution Problem, written by Colleen Paff, illustrated by Nancy Carpenter, and published by Margaret K. McElderry Books, an imprint of Simon & Schuster Children's Publishing Division. Fallout, Spies, Superbombs, and the Ultimate Cold War Showdown, written by Steve Schenking, published by Roaring Brook Press, an imprint of Macmillan Children's Publishing Group. We Are Still Here, Native American Truths Everyone Should Know, written by Tracy Sorrell, illustrated by Frane Lissat, and published by Charles Bridge. Summertime Sleepers, Animals That Estivate, written by Melissa Stewart, illustrated by Sarah S. Brannan, and published by Charles Bridge. And Unspeakable, The Tulsa Race Massacre, written by Carol Boston Witherford, illustrated by Floyd Cooper, and published by Carol Rhoda Books, an imprint of Lerner Publishing Group. And now, I am pleased to announce that the winner of the Robert F. Seibert Medal for the most distinguished informational book is The People's Painter: How Ben Shahn Fought for Justice with Art, written by Cynthia Livingston, illustrated by Evan Turk, and published by Abrams Books for Young Readers, an imprint of Abrams. I would like to thank Robert F. Seibert Medal Chair Catherine Porter and the committee for today's selection. Thank you for your hard work. The Odyssey Award is an annual award given to the producer of the best audiobook for children and young adults, available in English in the United States. The Odyssey Award is jointly administered by ALSC and YALSA, both divisions of the American Library Association, and is sponsored by Booklist magazine. The committee chose 3 Odyssey Honor audiobooks. They are Emmanuel's Dream, the true story of Emmanuel of Fusu Yeboah, produced by Listening Library, an imprint of Penguin Random House Audio Publishing Group, written by Laurie Ann Thompson and narrated by Adjoa Andar. I Talk Like a River, produced by Dreamscape Media, written by Jordan Scott and narrated by Jordan Scott. And Perfectly Parveen, produced by Listening Library, an imprint of Penguin Random House Audio Publishing Group, written by Olivia Abtahi and narrated by Mitra Yohari. I am pleased to announce the winners of the Odyssey Award for the best audiobook produced for children or young adults are Boogie Boogie Ya, produced by Harper Audio, Catherine Tegan Books, written and narrated by C.G. Speranza.
The boogie down block party boogied in the sun. Up, down, all around the block was having fun. Coco mango jelly, other man when I see treats while the break crew boogie to a bamba yo beat. The whole block was bubbling and having a blast. Just then it happened with a bang and a flash. Boom alakazum, the art boogied off the wall. Boom alakazum, the art boogied off the wall. Boogie boogie y'all, everyone boogied away except 2 kids, a dog and cans of paint spray. Clickety clack, click, they shook the cans and sprayed. Psst, 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 you won't believe the art they made.
And When You Look Like Us, produced by Harper Audio, Quill Tree Books, written by Pamela N. Harris and narrated by Preston Butler III.
Just like Mrs. Pratt when she's ready to get all up in your business. Where's your sister? It doesn't matter how far away I am. Mimi's question knocks me right in the ribs. I open my mouth to spit another story about Nick and Sterling, but the lie sits heavy in my chest. So much so, I brush a hand across it to make sure my heart's still beating. Talk to your grandma.
I would like to thank Odyssey Award Chair Hat Tony and the committee for their efforts to select today's honorees. Next up, the Excellence in Early Learning Digital Media Award is given to the producer of the most distinguished digital media for an early learning audience produced in the United States during the preceding year. The committee selected 2 of Excellence in Early Learning Digital Media Honor titles. Good Night World, produced by Sesame Workshops and Headspace. And Tap Time, produced by Kids at Play and Scale Productions. The winner of the Excellence in Early Learning Digital Media Award is Alma's Way, produced by Fred Rogers Productions. I would like to thank the Excellence in Early Learning Digital Media Award Chair, Celeste Swanson, and members of her committee for today's selection. Thank you for your hard work. Next is the Children's Literature Legacy Award, which honors an author or illustrator whose books published in the United States have made, over a period of years, a significant and lasting contribution to literature for children through books that demonstrate integrity and respect for all children's lives and experiences. This year's recipient is Grace Lynn. I would like to thank Children's Literature Legacy Award Chair Brian E. Wilson and members of the committee for making today's selection possible. Thank you for your work. Our next award is the Theodore Seuss Geisel Award. The Theodore Seuss Geisel Award honors the author and illustrator of a book for beginning readers who demonstrate great creativity and imagination in their literary and artistic achievements to engage children in reading. The award committee has selected 3 Geisel honor books. This year's honor books are Beak and Alley #1, Unlikely Friends, written and illustrated by Norn Feuti and published by Harper Alley, an imprint of HarperCollins Publishers. I Hop, written and illustrated by Joe Cepeda and published by Holiday House. And Nothing Fits a Dinosaur, written and illustrated by Jonathan Fenske and published by Simon Spotlight, an imprint of Simon & Schuster Children's Publishing Division. This year's Theodore Seuss Geisel Award goes to Fox at Night, written and illustrated by Corey R. Tabor and published by Balzer and Bray, an imprint of HarperCollins Publishers. I would like to thank Theodore Seuss Geisel Award Chair Ebony R. Njoku and members of our committee for today's selections. Thank you for your hard work. And now, for the announcement of ALA and ASC's oldest and most widely known awards, the Caldecott and Newbery Medals. First awarded in 1938 in honor of the 19th century English illustrator Randolph Caldecott, the Caldecott Medal is awarded to the artist of the most distinguished American picture book for children, published in the United States during the previous year. The committee has chosen 4 Caldecott honor books. They are Have You Ever Seen a Flower? Illustrated and written by Sean Harris and published by Chronicle Books. Mel Fell, illustrated and written by Corey R. Tabor and published by Belzer and Bray, an imprint of HarperCollins Publishers. Unspeakable, The Tulsa Race Massacre, illustrated by Floyd Cooper, written by Carol Boston Weatherford, and published by Carol Rhoda Books, an imprint of Lerner Publishing Group. And Wonder Walkers, illustrated and written by Misha Archer, and published by Nancy Paulson Books, an imprint of Penguin Young Readers, a division of Penguin Random House. The winner of this year's Randolph Caldecott Medal for Outstanding Illustration of a Children's Book is Watercress, illustrated by Jason Chin, written by Andrea Wan, and published by Neil Porter Books, Holiday House. I would like to thank Randolph Caldecott Medal Chair Dr. Claudette S. Macklin and members of the committee for today's selection. Thank you for your good work. And finally, the John Newbery Medal. First awarded in 1922, the award celebrates its 100th anniversary this year. Named after 18th century British bookseller John Newbery, this medal is awarded annually to the author of the most distinguished book for children, published in the United States during the previous year. 4 titles have been named Newbery Honor Books. They are Red, White, and Whole, written by Rajani LaRocca and published by Quilltree Books, an imprint of HarperCollins Publishers. A Snake Falls to Earth, written by Darcy Little Badger and published by Levine Querido. Too Bright to See, written by Kyle Lukov and published by Dial Books for Young Readers, an imprint of Penguin Young Readers, a division of Penguin Random House. And Watercress, written by Andrea Wang, illustrated by Jason Chin, and published by Neil Porter Books, Holiday House. And now, the winner of this year's John Newbery Medal for the year's most distinguished contribution to American literature for children is The Last Cuentista, written by Donna Barba Higuera and published by Levine Querido. I would like to thank John Newbery Medal Chair Thaddeus Andraki and the committee for today's selection. Thank you for all your hard work. Now, back to you, Patty.
Thank you for joining us today. I want to again thank all of our Youth Media Awards committees and their chairs for making today's announcements possible. Congratulations on a job well done. For a complete list of today's winners, please visit the ALA Youth Media Awards webcast page at ala.unikron.com. Additional award information and links to award press releases will also post to ala.org later today. Thank you.